lucky. I decided to do an impromptu live reading for the weekly energy reading that I usually do. I decided, why not just go live and try it? I'm Christine, for anyone that's new. For my returning people, it's good to see you all, wherever you are in the world. And if you see this after this has been filmed, I hope you guys have been doing well. I'm Christine. I don't know if I said that. My mental landscape is still a little wonky, but welcome. So grateful to have you here. I am excited to do this live. And let's get started. So this is the weekly energy reading where I do a very brief Astrocap touching upon the major, we'll just say astrological events happening. I don't usually get into transits or aspects, like anything detailed, just for the sake of this reading. And then we dive into some tarot and oracle. So let's dive in, and I will put timestamps after this is done recording. So this is the last week of Virgo season, you all. So my Virgos, happy birthday to all of you. I hope you've enjoyed a beautiful season as we're wrapping it up. And any Virgo, Libra cuspers, your time is coming. We also have the end of summer up here in the Northern Hemisphere and the end of winter in the Southern Hemisphere, wherever you are in the world. One season is ending and another is about to start. Mercury retrograde is also ingressing into Virgo from Libra. So I would say Mercury, not so much Mercury retrograde. And forgive me all, because I do have Libra Virgo aspects in my sun, moon, rising. So my mind has, like I said earlier, been a little scattered. So first event, Thursday, September 22nd, we have the vernal, autumn, or autumnal equinox up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And so essentially the sun crosses into the equator or across the equator, and it's going from north to south and vice versa for those in the Southern Hemisphere. So wherever you are in the world, a change in seasons is happening on Thursday. And with that, we also have the start of the new season, or I should say the next astrological season, when the sun ingresses into Libra. So that's coming up. I won't go too much into detail, in the vernal equinox, or even in this new moon that we have coming up. I'll be doing separate videos on that. But Libra season, briefly. So we've had a little bit of a preview with Mercury retrograde in Libra, and more themes will be highlighted along the way, including a focus on just harmonizing our environment, our space, ourselves, our daily lives, and especially our partnerships, our relationships with all types of people. And so the focus of Libra season is, of course, on love within ourselves and with others, all types of relationships, to balancing lives, because Libra is the only inanimate object in the astrological wheel. It doesn't have any animals. It's this represented by the scale. So there's a lot of balancing to do, and it's almost aptly done with this retrograde season. Decision making may be a little wonky. Like I mentioned before, my sun and my rising are in Libra, and my moon's in Virgo, so I've been a little bit scattered. Any of you that have Gemini, Virgo, Libra placements may have been feeling this Mercury retrograde especially. So get ready for a little bit more of perhaps decision making to slow down when we enter Libra season on Thursday. But all in all, I feel like things are moving. You may have been experiencing just a lot. I'll just say relationships have been the key, have been the focus this time. So what else is going on? Oh, Libra is also a pretty social sign. So many of you may be feeling, actually there may be a push-pull kind of feeling, depending on where some of these events are happening in your natal chart. You may be feeling the need to go out, to be a little bit more social, to have fun, to be more lighthearted, because Libra energy is very much like that. It's also a lot about engaging deeper, I guess, with your relationships on a deeper level from a heart-centered place, and essentially, like I said earlier, harmonizing. So let's move on. Mercury's also transiting into Virgo on the 23rd of September. So now we'll be diving in more into details, looking at focus, looking at things in a more focused way. You guys, I'm still butchering words. I'm still having trouble matching words and what's in my thought and what's in my head. And so we will also be bringing into light and bringing into focus back, since we are wrapping up Virgo season, you know, our routines, our health, anything that we feel we want to create more of a balance between our spiritual and material and practical life. So with that, we have a couple more weeks afterwards with actually about a little bit more than a week, because October 2nd, Mercury stations direct and a few other planets too. On Sunday, the 25th of September, we have the new moon in Libra occurring at 2 degrees and 49 minutes in this air sign, and it'll be opposing Jupiter. So it's occurring at 5:55 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Excuse me. New York City time for reference. And I'll be doing something separate, so I don't want to go too much into this new moon, but it does focus on, this is like a new clean slate for harmonizing relationships especially, but your life. And for any Libras out there, this is almost like a, I would say mini new year, but it really is like a new year to set your intentions and goals. Okay, we're gonna move on because I already see the time, 6 minutes with this Astrocap, and it's a little bit longer. So we are going to do a, let's tap into the weekly energy. Guys, I feel so scattered today. How are you all doing? I hope everyone is doing well and has been handling these energies. I know I have been hermiting as much as possible, trying to keep my energy retracted, trying to keep my energy to myself, limiting how many people that I spend my time with and around. Comment either if you're here live or after the fact, how it's been going for you all. Any surprises, anything that came up, because there's things popping up and popping off with this retrograde, and I'll just say retrogrades in general. So we're going to look at some Oracle and Tarot to see what's going on for us this week. Okay, let's get going. Let's see what does the universe have in store for us for this week. I feel like such a rushed energy. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, like wanting to move forward. At the same time, you're like, nope, I'm not ready. I'm not feeling it. Not yet. So it's almost like peering over the edge of a pool or being on a diving board of a pool, and you're bouncing on it. You're getting ready to leap, but then you're like, nope, not yet. That's the energy I feel. Oh gosh, God, goodness, look what we got. Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. This is capturing all of this energy that we have been experiencing, especially with other relationships. Yes, we've had some energies where things have been, I'll just say explosive, perhaps some of you, especially this week, but I feel like this is ongoing and this is going to occur in different ways and on different timelines for everyone. But there's a need, especially since we have we have Mars in Gemini, to not take too sudden movements forward, to not be so keen on moving ahead without really thinking things through. And also with retrogrades, it's a very much a time of reflection, of reviewing, of really reassessing. It's a lot of times it's good to go inward and to take a look at what's going on in your life. Be really careful about, especially this week, be really careful of just speaking things without thinking them thoroughly. Oh my goodness, you guys, my apologies. I'm having difficulty getting my words out. This is a really good time to journal. If you want to talk to someone, if you have something to say, because I'm feeling there's a lot that people want to say, want to express, and they haven't been able to, and perhaps it's been sitting in your throat, in your chest, in your energy fields for a long time. Come from a place of love. This may also be suggesting perhaps wait until we get into Libra season, and perhaps wait until Mercury does ingress into Virgo. But still, it's really about taking a more refined approach, a tactful, perhaps diplomatic approach in your communications. It doesn't mean you can't be honest, but do so in a way that will also allow an understanding, a greater empathy, compassion for people involved, whomever that you are wanting to communicate or are in communication with. So this really taps into relationships. And this white buffalo, I know white buffalo, albino buffalo perhaps, but its eyes are brown, so maybe it's just white and not albino. And I'm not an expert on buffalo, but This to me definitely speaks of continuing to tap into your own unique spiritual guidance, no matter what you hear, no matter what readings that you watch or that you're involved in, to really tap into your nudge, whatever you believe in, your higher power, God, universe, spirit, your own divine team, your spiritual team. Continue following the nudges, because a lot of people are still with the energies of the last full moon in Pisces that we had. They're still coming off of that and experiencing a lot of massive, I'll say, downloads in the crown chakra, a lot of dreams going on. It's busy, a lot of downloads. So pay attention to that, because you are getting answers and will continue to get answers on different situations as they pertain to people. This also speaks to shadow aspects too. Some of you are dealing with wanting to get the last word in. So there's a need, again, to take a step back and really reflect, does this need to be said? It's almost like this came to mind. It's almost like inventorying yourself, not others, right? If any of you are familiar with 12 steps, because I am in a 12-step, Adult Children of Alcoholics. Oh my gosh, I said 1111. I'm seeing that everywhere. And it's just like, it pauses for me. Really take a moment to reflect back and think about your goals when communicating with others this week. What is your intention? What do you want to say to others especially? Is it for you to tell people how wrong they are, how this or that, or what they're not doing right? Or is it for you to express how you feel? Because that's the main intention here. Because one of the shadow aspects coming up here is not just ego, but lack of humility, wanting to be right. So again, this takes careful assessment, reflection, and an increased level of awareness on all of our parts to make sure that we're not just saying things and spewing things because of any contentious issues, because of how we're feeling, or out of spite, but we're saying things because we really want to express how we feel. We want to speak our truth. This is really about tapping into your own inner heart, to your divine spiritual team, into your own inner, I'll just say inner lighthouse, as they call it. Okay, let's see if there's any other messages. I'm using this deck, you guys. I've been using this deck for a long time. Hold on, I'm going to look at the name. Angels and Ancestors. I have been going blank, completely blank, you guys, on this. Hey, Lucky Empress, I'm not doing readings, but if I finish and there's a few people, I may do some readings. I am doing the weekly energy reading. I decided to go live for this, but I will be doing a separate live on Wednesday for just tarot readings for anyone that's interested. But it's good to see you here. This was really impromptu, and I felt very called to do this because I haven't shown my face when I do my weekly energy readings in a while, and I felt the need to connect. Okay. Any other messages from the Angels and Ancestors deck, please? Anything else the universe wants us to know? No problem. I'll let you know, Lucky Empress, if I do. We will see. And it's good to see you again. Hey, Katie. Good to see you. This was so impromptu. I just felt really called, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, why? I was planning to just do this recorded, and I'm like, you know what? There's a need. I don't know. Even if I'm having trouble talking. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? We got Druid, hold the space. Guys, I keep getting flooded with messages about relationships. Again, going with the card, this is not just a time to hold space for others, but especially yourself. I would say this week, and just in general with these retrogrades until they start going direct, right? And a few others go retrograde too, right? Mars will be going retrograde shortly. Really hold space for yourself and ask yourself, you know, is this me wanting to change things, wanting to force things? Or am I surrendering, trying to release control? Because there's almost these two opposing forces that I'm feeling this week. Like take charge, like this buffalo. Even though this buffalo is docile and very peaceful, and for the most part, they don't attack from what I've read. I'm referring back to a school report I did long ago on buffaloes. They don't attack, you know, until prompted, and they're usually grazing in herds. But again, I'm not an expert, but think about whether or not what it is that you want to communicate. There's something about wanting to speak up, and some of you have had delays and have been pondering this and have been sitting, and there's a need to speak up for yourselves. That doesn't mean you can't during these retrogrades, especially during Mercury retrograde season. But make sure that you speak from your place, from your space, from what it is you want to express to others. Like, I feel this is what's happened, this is what I don't like and how it's affecting me, and this is what needs to change going forward type of deal. Wow, with the Druid, there is a great need at this time. Again, so we have white. Whenever I see anything like white animals or lights, it's about like a hermit energy, Virgo energy to me. And it's about really tapping into your own intuition, especially since we have Libra, Gemini, Virgo energy. A lot of cerebral energy right now. So everyone's up here. And so it's easy to disconnect from your body, from the soma, and really not pay attention to the intuitive nudges that you're getting. That's why it's important to continue grounding yourself, especially at this time. And especially if you are impacted, if you have these signs in the degrees that they are currently, that these planets are transiting in these different signs. There's a retreat, there's a need to retreat right now. Some of you are going through major transformations, like inner transformations that are going to reflect very shortly when planets start going direct. You're going to see a momentum, like almost like I'm getting those vending machines here, at least in the US. They used to have vending machines in the 80s and 90s where you could, they were rides, literally like from carnivals or fairs or amusement parks where you could, after you left the store, you could put in a quarter and then the, I don't know, the horses, what is it? The carousel, mini carousel or some type of ride would go. It was like that. That's the energy I'm feeling. As soon as the planets start stationing direct, I should say, one by one, you're going to start seeing things happening fast. So I keep getting the feeling of breathe, take time out. This is really a time for stabilizing and harmonizing feminine energy, the divine feminine, because for so long, the masculine energy, the divine masculine has been at the forefront, has been lauded as like, this is the way to go. This is what we should all be in. But no, at this time, and it can be uncomfortable if you're not used to it. I'll say I'm one of those people that has really been working on this for the last several years to really loosen your control over wanting to do things, over wanting to change things, especially with other people, especially with situations, relationships. I got situationships, relationships. Let go of control right now, because right now is not the time to move the wheel. Things aren't moving. A lot of things are stuck. A lot of things are not going. Hey, Jojo, good to see you. And so, again, it's super, super important to make space for yourself. I keep hearing like clear space. Some people call it like white space on the calendar, whatever space you call it. There's a need for integrating what it is that you are revisiting, especially from the past with people, also with yourself, because there is a lot of emphasis on healing at this time, on bringing up into your awareness things that you may have been avoiding, things that may have been coming up repeatedly in different patterns in the last several weeks, days, weeks, months. So this is a very, very much a time of integration. There's really a theme here of peace and not making action, not taking action without really thinking. We got medicine mother, honor your inner knowing. You guys, I've been harping on this intuition thing with the light here, because some of you, I feel, are you're waiting for communication. I don't know why I keep getting that. You're waiting for communication. Some of you may be needing to provide that communication towards others. But at this time, I'm getting, again, we're in Virgo season, so this very much, to me, speaks of like the hermit energy, of going within. This is a time of harnessing your intuition too, and your psychic abilities, whichever clairs, whatever it is that you're working on at this time, and new gifts are opening. This is a time, I keep getting like integration, space, rest. We got the mother. And again, these cards, these oracle cards don't have any zodiac signs attached, But I get Cancerian energy too with this, with the medicine mother. It's literally about how we nurture ourselves and take care of ourselves. And this is a big theme with Virgo, because Virgo season highlights to what are the routines that we have in place for ourselves? How best can we nurture and take care of ourselves at this time? What needs to change so this can happen? There is no more putting ourselves on the back burner, because if you continuously do that, you will not be your optimal self. You will not be able to offer those cups of love, of care, of nurturance to others. It's going to be at your own detriment. So this is, again, there's a strong need here to take a step back this week if you haven't already done so. I keep seeing so many synchronicities, 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1, 1. There's a need to take a step back at this time and to really cultivate your own energy to protect it. I've been speaking about this for several weeks now, about retracting your energy, right? Like, you know, those hair dryers that you can press a button and it retracts back? That's the energy I keep getting. Protect your energy, call back your power. Some of you are in the midst of cutting cords with people or separating from relationships. There's, again, big theme about that, but there's a need to essentially beef up your own inner system, your own inner guiding light. And a lot of you are going to know what it is that you need. You just ask yourself, what do I need at this time, at this moment? What would help me feel, fill in the blank, loved, soothed, nourished, at peace, rested? And because I'm sensing just an imbalance here and overgiving. Some of you also too, I'm getting, are not trusting yourselves. And this is a pretty prominent theme. And I would say it's coming up, especially since these retrogrades are creating havoc and are wonking. I don't think that's a word, are wonking our mental landscape. They're creating just a lot of confusion, a lot of push and pull, like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then you doubt yourself. And I'm not excluded, guys. I've been going through this too. Second guessing yourself, in other words. But there's a need when you know something and you innately feel something and you get that nudge, trust it, because that is your answer. Even if it seems far-fetched, even if it seems totally outrageous, or you're like, no, this can't be it. Trust your knowing, write it down. This is the most important part of developing and continuing to nurture your own divine inner light. Okay, let's move on. That's all. 2222, every time I look up, you guys, there's, some of you are seeing these numbers too. I keep getting this. Okay, let's take a look and see what other messages the universe has for us. What else is going on in our soul journey? What else do we need to be aware of? Just remember, when you take time to rest, to take care of yourself, to tap into that feminine energy of creativity, of taking care of yourselves in all aspects, that is what helps nurture your intuition. And that's when you can receive and be in receive mode. If you constantly feel the need to do, and I know what it's like, guys, because my energy is primarily masculine, not just in my natal chart, but what I grew up with, constantly doing. Sometimes it can be hard to differentiate from what's going on in your head and in your mind from your intuition. So there's a strong need right now because we're shifting towards this. There's a rebalancing going on right now. I'll just say, especially with a lot of, we only got one card, with a lot of what's coming. Protected by angels. You are cherished by angels. This, to me, it looks like Archangel Michael. Some of you may be tapping into Archangel Michael. I kid you not. Right, Katie? Synchronicities? Hold on. Where'd the message go? Where'd the message go? There it is. Yes, synchronicities are just everywhere. And you guys, I've been seeing dragons everywhere. I go to the grocery store. I see like 3 dragon stuffed animals. I see dragon deep everywhere. I'm just like, okay, fine. There's a message there. So really pay attention. Thank you, Katie, for that. Pay attention to what's coming up around you. I always say document it. I've been documenting consistently now since August because I wasn't doing it consistently. Not just my dreams, but anything. I have like a spiritual journal and then a dream journal, and I've been documenting these things, and there's patterns there. So pay attention, because those are also answers to anything that you are asking the universe, broadly speaking, to your spiritual team. Some of you are connecting with angels. I'm getting that big time. I've experienced this too. On my YouTube feed, I play music right there on my little TV. I usually play like binaural beats or frequencies, different frequencies, but one day I put it on and Archangel Michael popped up, and I'm like, okay. And I don't work with him a lot except with cord cuttings, but I'm getting the strong energy right now. And of course, it's because of relationships right now. There's a lot of releasing, reassessing relationships, reconciliations and reconnections, and upgrades. I'll say glow ups with relationships, like getting on the same page with people. But there's also a need to cleanse your energy. And there's a different school of thoughts. Did I say that right? Thoughts of school? Different ways of thinking when it comes to cord cutting. Some people believe cord cutting can help replenish, basically clear the energy between someone. Others think it's permanent. So take what resonates for you and do what helps you, but simply resetting that energy between people can really help and change and not just the energy and the frequency, but the dynamics moving forward with people. Some of you may be interested in working with angels, and all you have to do is connect. I could do a separate video, but it's really, for me, it's a lot about patience, especially if people want to see something tangible. It's, you know, setting your intention out, and I don't want to veer too far off, but setting your intention out, depending on if you want to connect with your guardian angels, which they're all around, or a specific archangel like Michael, you can set your intention and ask for a sign, and you will get it, probably relatively quickly. If any of you are feeling alone, this is also confirmation. I'm sensing a need of you know, when you end something and you just are at that point where you feel alone, that's the energy that I'm feeling right now. There's a lot of doors closing and books. I got books closing. Some of you have had long chapters with people and they're coming to an end. These include contracts, karmic contracts, but these are people that you've known too. And for some of you want to reread that chapter, but be careful. Again, these retrogrades are too also highlighting what it is that we've learned from not just relationships, since this is the very, you know, focus for this particular Mercury retrograde, but in all aspects of our life, what have been repeating themes? What is it that we are learning at this time? Again, you gotta trust yourself. You're gonna know this. You're gonna know when it's time to end something, because I keep like seeing a lot of books closing, and there's chapters ending right now. There's things coming to a close. It's time to complete things, especially cycles that have been vicious with others. Okay, let's go into some tarot. It's 27. Oh my God, 27 minutes on 4 oracle cards. Oh wait, hold on. Guys, I'm even having trouble shuffling. You know, there's a strong need to express yourself, but also I keep getting that, stay quiet. Look at their faces. I keep looking at their faces here. They're not like, okay, it's time to talk. Like, let's do this now. Look at their faces. They're very calm, composed, measured. This one's about balancing. It almost reminds me of the Justice card in this deck. Oh my God, what's this one called? Keepers of the Light, is it? Lightseer's deck. Oops, I'm making up my own names, guys. And this one, this Druid, he seems to just be thinking inwardly, introspecting a lot, hermiting in other words. And this inner knowing, this medicine mother, is very much tapped in and believing of her own self, her own worth. So again, not the time to make any movements, any rash decisions with people unless you yourself know. And those indications are coming. It's going to be very different for everyone. It's so important. That's why I keep saying, like, it's really important to listen to your intuition, to listen to your own inner light. You are going to know when it's time to do something. It's not going to be fearful, like, oh, hell no, like, this is over. I'm calling this person up. I'm going to express everything to them. No, it's just going to be a subtle knowing, and you're going to know, like, okay, it's time I do this, or make this decision, or reach out, or send this email, or I let this belief system go, or whatever it is. Okay. What other messages does the universe have for us this week, please? 2 cards turned over. Look what we got at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Cups, you all. This is water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Some say Cancerian, but this is, again, really tapping into your own emotions, your intuition, your body. Really paying attention to what it is you're feeling. That's, if I could describe the feminine energy, feeling. Not so much doing and trying to be always productive and accomplishing something like the masculine energy, but just feeling, tapping into that. Okay, we got the Emperor, Aries energy. Mars, Ace of Cups, this is water. King of Wands, fire, Leo energy. Aries energy, again, the Fool. There's this need, I keep feeling it, of wanting to move forward, like moving. Look at this, the Chariot, Cancer energy. Some of you may have big placements in fire signs, especially Aries, I'm getting, and Cancer. I think we have the Moon in Cancer right now. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus. Beautiful cards this week. This is about taking charge of your own life. Okay, again, I don't have a lot of hands here to put all of them up. We'll start with these, but this is really about taking charge of your own life right now. Again, really take this time until about October 2nd when Mercury goes direct. I think that's the first planet, if I'm not mistaken. I think we have Pluto next and one other one. Oh, thanks, Katie. Thanks, Super Conscious Explorer. Moon is in Cancer. I felt that. I feel it. This is a time, again, if you haven't, if it's something that you have been ignoring or not wanting to look at, especially when it comes to knowing that you have to let go of certain people, places, things, beliefs. We'll leave it generally at that, but there's going to be things that people are letting go. And some of you have experienced that. Some of you, this is going to continue to happen, especially as we get closer, I'll just say, until the eclipse season, into Scorpio season. So this is, for me, I immediately get, it's about taking charge. I feel like this is sandwiched in here. This is about taking charge of your life right now. Get out a piece of paper, whatever your learning style is, however you learn, because everyone has different learning styles. I'm pretty practical. I'm like, I just rip out a piece of paper and I list everything. What's going wrong or what I don't like, and then I do the opposite. What would I like to happen? Like, really reassess your life right now, because some of you are, you know, things are, almost feels like a pause button, right? Like when you're watching a movie and you pause, it doesn't mean that, you know, we don't work and get up and we just hang out in bed and for the entire retrograde season, but really take this time right now when things aren't propelling forward, because you're gonna feel it. Things are gonna shift pretty quickly. Take this time to assess what isn't working for you anymore, because there's going to be a need for you to, it's not just a game here, like we have the chess piece. It's about your own life and optimizing it in the best way possible for you at this time. Being assertive too, and having boundaries. You know the chess pieces of the chessboard, how there's squares for everything, for all the pieces, and you make moves. You're not in the middle of a line, right? You go in a square, in a white, or I guess it depends on the board. There's 2 colored squares, white, black, white, tan, brown, whatever it is. There's something about boundaries here. Some of you have to be more assertive with your boundaries. Again, I keep getting this. You gotta protect your energy. That means setting boundaries with people, saying no. And you don't have to say anything else. You can be like, no thanks. Sorry, can't do that. Thanks for thinking of me, but no. Or, you know, really thinking about where it is that people, or even yourself, where they're violating your boundaries. Because some of this is impacting your goals, where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do. Some of you want to make forward movement right now, but this is a time for planning, for reassessing, for really asking yourself, do I really want to do this, or is this being imposed onto me by someone else, or by others, or by society, or do I feel like I should? Don't be too impetuous. Take your time. This is the time to, again, Queen of Cups energy, feel it. If it doesn't feel good, it probably isn't meant for you. I'm not saying, you know, right now some of us are like, well, I don't want to go to work today or do anything. Not that type of energy. Again, this taps into your heart. With the Ace of Cups, there's a lot of new opportunities coming. This is a chance to realign yourself to what truly matters to you. Almost, I would say, like a mid-season do-over, right? This week, like I mentioned earlier, Libra season is starting. We have the fall, spring equinox wherever you are in the world. And so Libra is ruled by Venus, which focuses on love among many other aspects, but also self-worth. So really make sure that this week you're tapped into what the things that you are doing, what you're reassessing, the people you're around, that you connect with them on an emotional space. Because if you don't, you're going to call in more of that. And I'm just getting the feeling that you don't want that. There's just like a clean energy here. With the Strength card, or excuse me, I said Strength, King of Wands. There's a lot of Queen, King energy here. To me, it just speaks of just taking charge of your life. With the King of Energies, there's a lot of passion here too, a lot of drive. I mean, you've got siblings here, Aries and Leo energy, fire, a lot of fire here. So it's about doing things and moving forward with the projects that you want to do, not just with passion and fervor and zest and enthusiasm, but making sure that you embody those in what you do and what it is you want to pursue, right? If you don't like knitting and you're just like, oh, hell no, I don't want to go to a knitting club this week, don't do it. This is the energy that I'm talking about. Like, only connect to things that you truly feel passionate about. This speaks for everything in your life. From what you wear, from what you eat, from who you spend your time with, from what you're saying yes to, in other words. Because again, like fire energy, it's pretty like speedy, right? It's fast, it's go, go, go. But sometimes you have to take a step back and reassess and make sure that you connect with your heart first before trying to connect to everything else around you. We have the Fool, the Chariot, and the Queen of Pentacles. Again, more Aries energy. There's new starts coming. There's like a freshness coming. And I feel like as we shift into, as Mercury, I should say, shifts into Virgo, you are going to feel that, because that'll be a shift. I don't feel like relationships are going to go out, but I feel like you'll be examining things in a lot more detail, almost scrutinizing every aspect of your relationships, but also life, in a way that is going to either help you go forward, right? Help you take these leaps, help you put yourself out of your comfort zone, expand that zone, or it's going to keep you stuck. But the energy here this week is to try new things, change things up, do things differently. You may have to shift your belief system too for things to go in the direction that you want them to. Because with the Chariot, it's about driving forward, taking that opportunity, that chance. For some of you, this could mean literal movement. We see it here too with the Fool card. It's about taking movement forward and moving in a new direction in your life. Again, this is why we have this time period of going within, of listening to our intuition, of asking questions that we may not be sure of, and waiting to receive that. All of this is all guided within ourselves. None of this is outside. That's not to say you can't talk about it with others or consult or whatever it is you need to do, but everything is within. And this is the Queen of Pentacles. This was the end. The last card for this week. And for me, this feels like we're all shifting towards really creating a life that is in tune with what it is we value. What gives us greater stability, what gives us greater security. It's not just financial security, right? Even though Taurus is ruled by Libra, Libra does speak of finances and money. This speaks of emotional security. I keep coming back to the water. This speaks of the emotional security, you all. Because if you are able to really hone up your own personal, emotional, I keep getting like heart capacity, your own little emotional brain, it's going to help so much in every aspect of your life when things go in a direction you didn't expect, right? For example, relationships are wonky this season around. And if you're able to stabilize your own emotions, you're going to realize that you're not affected as easily or as you were before. So there's a need too of stabilizing this, being grounded. I almost feel like they're siblings, or like the Queen of Pentacles and this Druid, they're almost like part of the same family. Again, it's about cultivating your own sense of security from within. This is the main message. So again, there's a lot of of inner looking inwards, looking within, I'm trying to say, and not outside. I also feel like with the Fool card that we had and the Chariot, once this energy starts to shift and some of these planets go direct, especially Mercury, you're going to know and you're going to feel that impetus to just go, like make that change or that initiation or that start or whatever it is that you have in mind, because there's different elements here. This can speak on so many different aspects of our lives. We're going to pull 2 more cards. And let me see the time. I don't think there's a lot of people, so I could do quick readings too for the week if anyone is interested. Okay, final message. We got non-duality. This has been such a theme, and a very Piscean theme. Non-duality. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. For me, this is just speaking about the duality in the world. Everything exists in that way. Yin and yang, feminine, masculine energy. And looking at that and how to integrate it into your life. This speaks too with Pisces and Virgo, because Pisces is very much about the unknown, right? Ruled by the 12th house, what's hidden, what we don't always see, what's maybe below the surface. That deals with the spiritual metaphysical world, and Virgo is an earth sign. It deals more with the earthly material aspects. So there's a need to really integrate the both and balance them. Also integrate spiritual practices into your earthly realm. This is where your intuition comes into play. Spending too much time in either or will lead to that imbalance, right? It'll either mean that we're too much in our head and not enough in our body, or vice versa. But this is a present theme, non-duality. This is just a present theme in everything. There's always 2 sides. I get hangman energy because, you know, it's about looking at things from different perspectives. Perhaps this will help some of you that are wanting to resolve things in relationships, that are wanting to, I'm hearing just smooth things out. I heard sort the glue. I don't know what sort the glue means. But when you look at things from different sides, and again, that takes time. You have to go into a space for yourself. If you do it in haste, you may miss that opportunity to see those other perspectives that are being presented to you, because not everything is always shown to us. Today's energy just feels so, it's very much about inward, going inward into our own inner sanctuary, our own inner home. I'm pulling a final Pleiadian. I've been seeing the Pleiadians everywhere, you guys. Can we get a message, please? Final message for this week from the Pleiadians. We got 2. We got frequency upgrade. You're in the fast lane. I feel like this, I've been feeling this energy of wanting to go, go, go. Today I even woke up feeling anxiety, and I'm like, why? And I felt like, I feel like I'm running out of time. And I'm also sensing we got a lot of fire here. So some of you may have prominent placements, Aries, Leo, Sag, especially Aries and Cancer, like I mentioned, but Cancer is a water sign. But I feel there's a need, things are moving quickly around you, but that doesn't mean that you always have to adapt to that energy as well. A lot of red here, a lot of grounding yourself too, making sure, this is about safety for some of you, root chakra energy. Again, emotional security, that taps into that. I keep seeing the Queen. And look what we have under the Queen. We have the Hermit. And then under that, we have the Lovers. And this also speaks of duality, Gemini energy. So again, as there's a lot of shifts going on, I sensed a lot of transformations. There's snakes. I saw it on the Druid. You see the tattoo? To me, it looks like a snake. It could be some other, perhaps, design, some tribal design or some other insignia. But and I've been seeing snakes too everywhere on my hikes. Some of you are experiencing, just with the ascension symptoms, I'll just say it's soul growth journey wherever you are, because everyone's in different points, different frequencies. Light code activations have been a big thing lately. I've been sensing that. I don't read light language, but some of you that may have been getting just refinement in your light body. There have just been almost like we're constantly getting upgraded. And so there's a flow of information, especially up here. I'm sensing purple in the crown chakra. So again, be really open. This is why there's an emphasis on really leaning into your feminine energy, because that's where you get this information. If you're always in your masculine energy, if you're always in your head, you're going to miss it because it's subtle. I used to think my intuition would present itself, be like, dun, dun, dun. The clouds or the curtains would part and poof, the message would unveil, kind of like a scroll. And no, it doesn't work for me that way, at least. It's really, really subtle, and you'll feel it the more tuned in you are to yourself. So be very aware of that. And take time this week to really ground your emotions, to really find a way to stabilize them in a way that's going to help you find that security. It's not financial security, it's emotional stability and regulation. Okay guys, I don't know who's in here, but if anyone would like a reading, I can do that before closing up. A lot this week. Continue to tap into yourself, into your inner knowing. Those are where all the answers lie, even if things just seem like they're not moving. They are. Everything is working behind the scenes. That's another thing I wanted to say. Things are happening behind the scenes, and we don't always see it. We just see what we want to see, and we just see what we want to see, and also what we're looking through, depending on the perspective that we're peering through. Kind of like a window pane, depending on which window that you look out from. That's what you see. Thanks so much, Katie. I appreciate it. I don't know why I felt called to do this live. I don't think I've ever done one of these readings live. I don't think so. If anyone would like a reading, comment down. Otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle. Nope. Okie dokie. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. Remember, intuition, take care of yourselves. Take advantage of this time, of this space that you have while these planets are still working themselves out, right? To get clear. And I will see you soon. Thank you guys so much. How do I turn this off now?